when local matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit, not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
All right, I put this on one check. Is that okay? Draw?
That was fast and secure. It's Mobile Wallet from Lookout Credit Union.
Your home team, when local matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Good evening and welcome into this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Gate City Game Night, coming to you live from Lookout Field in Pocatello. Brandon Baney alongside Sean Kane here on IdahoSports.com. Tonight's game is presented by Lookout Credit Union, Valley Office Systems, and Portneuf Medical. Also our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. So let's take you into the action. The opening kickoff just complete as we're ready now for Shelley and Pocatello. A pair of 2-3 teams, Sean, but the 2-3 records feel different. Shelley on a 2-game winning streak, and Pocatello still trying to find their way without starting quarterback Dre Contreras.
Yeah, you have Shelley coming in with 2 wins over 2 conference opponents, taking down Blackfoot 2 weeks ago, 35-28, and then last week taking down Bonneville 28-0, posting a shutout. Very impressive from from Shelley coming in on a two-game win streak on conference. And then you've got the Pocatello Indians, who come off 2 straight losses 2 weeks ago against Highland, 7-14, and then last week against Hillcrest, 21-27.
So Shelley will start with a handoff to Caden Kidman around the left side for a gain of 2 to make it 2nd down and 8. This is a Shelley offense that you mentioned, so they're 2-3 overall, but 2-0 in High Country Conference play with 2 wins over Blackfoot and Bonneville last week. And they're doing it on the strength of these 3 really good running backs, Riker Klinger, Caden Johnson, and Caden Kidman. Here's Caden Johnson with his first carry of the night. We'll plow ahead, and, you know, I had a chance to talk really briefly to Shelley head coach Josh Wells before the game tonight, and I said, well, what's been the biggest difference? Because you started 0-3 with losses to Star Valley, Wyoming, Sugar Salem, and then lost to Burley at the very end. And then they got the 2-game win streak. I said, what's been the biggest change? And he said, honestly, we kind of simplified the offense, got back to what we do, and that's run the football. And he said, and it's been quite lucrative for us.
And they run it very well.
3rd down and 3 up the middle. Nowhere to go. Pocatello strings it out. It'll be 4th and 1. That time they tried to go to Riker Klinger right up the middle. Only got 2. Needed 3. It's 4th and 1, and Shelley will come out to punt.
And that kind of might be the matchup, right? The Pocatello defensive line versus the Shelley offensive line. A couple of weeks back, the Shelley offensive line got the player of the game. The whole line did, which was pretty great. So I think that's a big matchup we're going to see tonight as those 2 lines going at each other.
So 4th down, Shelley will punt it away. This is Caden Kidman, left-footed kick. Riken Echohawk hauls it in, backtracks to the 25, slips a tackle, now trying to break it to the outside, all the way to the opposite edge of the field. Riken Echohawk gets right back to the 30 where he initially caught the punt.
Now, does Riken Echohawk put on like Vaseline before the game? There's always guys slipping off when they get his hands on him.
So now it's Pocatello for the first time tonight. 1st and 10 for the Thunder. Starting from their own 30-yard line. And again, this is a Pocatello offense that's trying to navigate life without Drake Contreras, their starting quarterback. He's played in 2 games this year for Pokey, and they're 2-0 in those games, but they're 0-3 without him. It's Hunter May, the sophomore quarterback, who starts with a handoff to Riken Echohawk off the right side. Last week, Riken Echohawk had a really tough time getting going against Hillcrest in that non-conference loss to the Knights. Pocatello dropped that game 27-21. Echohawk had 8 carries for 16 yards, and that's going to be the focus most defenses are going to throw at Pocatello moving forward, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know Echohawk's back there, and if you're able to stop him, it's hard. It kind of makes Pocatello get one-dimensional, and they're asking Hunter May to make some throws.
Another handoff, Echohawk off the right side, gets a couple more, and that's it. Hunter May, you may notice, has got a new jersey number. He had been wearing number 23, which is not really a quarterback number, and they said, you know what, you're going to be our QB for the foreseeable future. It's about time we got you a proper quarterback number. So now Hunter May is number 10.
And kind of a big 3rd down here for Pocatello. Can Hunter May come up with a throw here, or do you run the ball?
It is 3rd down and 6 for the Thunder. Hunter May going to throw it deep, and he's going to overshoot his intended receiver, trying to go to Chance Crittenden on the post route. Ends up overthrowing 4th down, and the Thunder will come out to punt. That's really been Pocatello's offensive success, has been the home run ball, right? Last week, Crew Hales caught a long touchdown pass from May, and Parker Smith hauled in a touchdown pass, and if the home run ball isn't there, just like in baseball, right, it's kind of tough for the offense to score sometimes.
Yeah, and I went back and watched some of those passes, and they made some great catches. And once they get that timing, they'll maybe connect on some of those.
So Pocatello punts away. Fair catch hauled in by C.J. Fielding. He took a punt back for a touchdown last week in that 28-0 win over Bonneville. So
Shelley reps at start on the 31-yard line. 1st and 10.
And we've got, both teams have put up almost the same amount of points over the course of their 5 games. Shelley put up 129, and Pocatello's put up 123. Pocatello has given up less points at 95 through the 5 games, and Shelley's actually given up 142 points, but a lot of that came from the Sugar-Salem game.
Yeah, it really was. And the Burley game as well. We know what kind of offense Burley has. Caden Kidman takes this up the middle for Shelley for a gain of 5 to make it 2nd and 5. We're at 8:05 to play here in the opening quarter of action. No score yet between Shelley and Pocatello, a non-conference 4A battle. And off again up the middle, and Pocatello is right there defensively. And really, we talk a lot about the Thunder offense and how they've been struggling a bit, but the Pocatello defense has been pretty consistent week in, week out.
Oh, yeah. You've got
Let's help out the Thunder boys. Let's make some noise.
just great linebackers for the Pocatello defense, and that all starts with number 9, Devin Rodriguez, and they're fast and relentless. And, that's like kind of my key to the game is the Pocatello defense going to be able to stop the run of Shelley.
3rd and 5, bootleg, rolling out. Nate Nelson threw it too high, incomplete.
Pass incomplete with an attempt to number 84.
Trying to go to Michael Clegg that time, overthrew him. 4th down, Shelley will punt again.
That brings up 4th and 4.
So 2 teams that we've seen score quite a few points over the course of the season have started out with 2 kind of a good defensive stops. Shelley with 2 3-and-outs, and Pocatello get the ball back here.
So a good old-fashioned defensive battle. Penalty flag comes out as Kidman has the rollout style punt. Riken Echohawk muffs the punt. The official blew the whistle, even though that was still a live ball. And because of that, Pocatello was able to jump back on top of it. We had a lot going on there, Sean.
Yeah, we had a flag and then fair catch called by Echohawk, and he dropped it. Luckily, he fell on the Shelley player, and he couldn't quite grab it. Just out of reach.
So we wait to see what the penalty call is here. What do we got here, Sean?
Well,
illegal motion. Decline.
Illegal motion against Shelley. Okay.
So it's still going to be Pocatello's ball, and is it one of those where they could have had Shelley re-kick it and they just declined that? Perhaps.
So Pocatello will start 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. They'll start with a sweep by Riken Echohawk, and Echohawk picks up 7 to make it 2nd and 3. Good run that time by Echohawk.
Nice. It's if Echohawk gets out to the edge, that's where he's so dangerous. He's able to avoid the first kind of initial contact and was able to get those extra yards with his speed.
Hunter May back to pass again. Will throw the out route. It's in and out of the breadbasket of Parker Applington. Now it's going to be 3rd and 3.
But that was a nice throw by Hunter May, and his timing and kind of the accuracy seems to be getting better game by game.
So now 3rd and 3. What do you call here, Sean? There's 6:13 to play first quarter. No score yet. Neither offense has picked up a first down yet in this game.
I mean, I kind of like what they did. They did a little play action last time. I think that might be key, but they've got big number 7 in there too, maybe to lead the block.
Tyson Beckles is big number 7, and he leads the way. Reichen Echohawk has the first down, brought down at the 49-yard line. A 9-yard gain on 3rd and 3.
That was maybe the one time I've ever been right. But Beckles laid out a great block and just paved a nice little path for Echohawk.
Yeah, we've talked about this is, Reichen Echohawk gets the acclaim, but it really is a two-headed backfield along with Tyson Beckles, who really is the thunder to Echohawk's lightning.
Yeah, and as a coach, you have no problem having 2 great running backs.
We're starting to see them play together more often as well. They'll sling it in the flat to Echohawk. Catch is made across the 45 and out to the Shelley 43-yard line. That is a gain of about 8. It'll be 2nd and short.
And I like those play calls better for Hunter May to kind of just get him in kind of a groove, a rhythm with his receivers, and sometimes getting that long ball, it's harder to kind of get that rhythm when, you weren't initially planning on being the quarterback this season.
So an 8-yard gain to Echohawk makes it 2nd and 2. Echohawk, the man in motion here. May will sling it this time to the opposite side. Echohawk, easy pitch and catch, gets a block, and is brought down at the 32-yard line. A gain of 11 and a first down, but a pretty good hit delivered at the end of the play as well by Tegan Allman of Shelley.
Yeah, Tegan Allman of Shelley. That's the textbook on how to tackle Echohawk. You've got to wrap him up and not let go.
Right, hold on for dear life.
Echohawk's just so good at running into someone and getting them to shake him off or, whatever. But Allman wrapped him up textbook-wise.
Fresh set of downs for Pocatello, though. 4:20 to play in our opening quarter of action. Quarterback keeper for May this time, and Hunter May will take it to the 31 for a gain of 2.
And then, going back and watching Hillcrest and Pokey, they were pretty successful with Hunter May running the ball, either on design or him able to scramble out and if he gets some space, he's a very quick player as well.
So 2nd down and 8 here for Pocatello with 3:50 and counting, and what's been a very fast-moving first quarter. Pocatello's been in a lot of games like that this year. The Highland game was 14-7, very short second half. The Twin Falls game we were at, very quick first half as well. Beckles on 2nd and 8 will take it to the 29 for another 2 yards. 3rd and long coming up.
7, Tyson Beckles with the carry.
First carry of the night for Tyson Beckles as well.
So these are kind of the spots where I think Pocatello's had a tough time. Is the 3rd down against Hillcrest. They were 0-6 on 3rd downs last week, and that's kind of a sign sometimes when you have a newer quarterback.
3:05 and counting before the end of the period. Knotted up at zeros. A 3rd and 6 awaiting the Pocatello offense, and you feel like could be 2-down territory here at Lookout Field. Second football game ever in the history of Lookout Field. Been a lot of soccer matches here at this brand new facility. They try a handoff that time to Parker Applington out of the backfield, and Applington loses 2 yards. It's now 4th and 8.
Yeah, 4th and 8. I mean, kind of this range, I think you go for it.
What's the call, though? What do you go with?
Again, I kind of like the play action, maybe give Shelley a look like you're going to try to do kind of some power running and get those cornerbacks just a little bit of space off your receivers. But 3rd and 8, it's a tough call.
4th and 8. May rolling out. On the run will fire. It is caught at the sticks for the first down. Needed 8, got 10. Nice curl route to Chance Crittenden. That'll move the chains.
And Crittenden was in the perfect spot as Hunter May rolled out. He was just right past the sticks, and that's good awareness to know where you're at. You know, sometimes receivers catch it short, and he was right past it.
Got right to the sticks. You're absolutely right. Tonight's game on IdahoSports.com is brought to you in part by Valley Office Systems and Rico, your local hometown office solutions team, delivering the level of service that you expect because they are a service company above all else. Valley Office Systems and Rico want to wish all the Gate City teams best of luck. 1st and 10. It is a quarterback keeper for Hunter May. He'll pick up a couple.
Hunter May. And number 34.
Ball down to the 20-yard line now of the Russets. So a gain of 1 for Hunter May. Pocatello officially now in the red zone, Sean.
And Pocatello's definitely thrown out a bunch of different looks tonight. You know, some misdirection to Echo Hawk, and I like what they're doing. Their game plans, you know, I think they've had to change their game plan, obviously, with a different quarterback.
This has been an impressive drive for the Thunder. It started all the way back at their own 30. Final 50 seconds of the opening period. It's an option play. Pitch out left side to Echo Hawk. Trying to get to the edge and does. Takes it down to the 12. It'll be 3rd and short upcoming. Echo Hawk has been so effective when he's gotten to the edges tonight.
He likes the sidelines.
He definitely does. So that is a gain of 6 for Echo Hawk. 3rd and 2. Quarterback keeper for May up the middle into the end zone for a Pocatello touchdown. That's a 13-yard touchdown run for Hunter May, and Pocatello strikes first. So on a 3rd and 2, they went with the quick count that time, Sean, and May takes it in from 13 yards out.
Yeah, and against Hillcrest, that's what was kind of effective is getting some designed runs to Hunter May as well.
So now on for the point after try here for the Thunder. Garrett Keller. And Keller's kick is through. So with 19 seconds to play before the end of the first quarter, Pocatello 7, Shelley nothing. We'll be back right after this on IdahoSports.com.
I love Lookout's campus branch. The vibe and the service. But with digital banking, it all comes to me. My customizable dashboard provides all my information. Accounts, cards.
Anything else?
I'm good. Bill pay, even my credit score. Gotta go. I mean, you gotta go download this app and upload convenience today.
Welcome back to Gate City Game Night on IdahoSports.com, presented by Lookout Credit Union. Brandon Baney alongside Sean Kane here from Lookout Field. Pocatello strikes first, 7-0 over Shelley with 19 seconds to play before the end of the first quarter. Hunter May runs it in from 13 yards out on a quarterback keeper. Tonight's game also brought to you tonight on IdahoSports.com by Cox's Honey. They've been serving Southeast Idaho for almost 100 years. Their honey is 100% honey as, boy, the return man for Shelley lost his helmet on the play. Caden Kidman, penalty flag comes out as well. So while they sort that out, we'll tell you that Cox's Honey is 100% honey. No additives, preservatives, or artificial flavors. At Cox's, they take pride in using the high-touch and personal processes that have been in place since the beginning. Be sure to visit the brand-new Cox's Honey store right off the main highway in Shelley. Cox's Honey, real, raw, honest, since 1927. Proud to support the local student-athletes. So what they end up calling on that penalty there, Sean?
I think they picked it up. Or no.
Still out there.
He waved, the referee, the head judge, just waved the flag in the air and then.
Okay, so yeah, they called it off.
Yeah.
All right. So 1st and 10 for the Russets from their own 20-yard line. 14 seconds to play here before the end of the opening period. And the Russets will do what they like to do on first down, and that's run it off the right side. Riker Klinger picks up 9 yards on the carry, 2nd and 1, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter. So through one, Pocatello with a 7-0 lead over the Russets. We'll be back with more Gate City Game Night right after this on IdahoSports.com.
Your home team, when local matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
When joints begin to fail, it's more than an inconvenience. The relentless grinding pain slows you down and can even stop you from doing the things you enjoy in life. At Portneuf Medical Center, our skilled orthopedic experts are using advanced robotic surgeries to get you back to being you sooner with a less painful recovery. We're doing more than restoring joints. We're restoring lives.
Welcome back to Gate City Game Night here on IdahoSports.com. Brandon Baney alongside Sean Kane here at Lookout Field as we get ready to start the second quarter of action. They will hand off Shelley on 2nd and 1 off the right side.
Number 7, Kason Eaton with a catch.
That actually is a completed pass to Kason Eaton for a gain of 6 and a first down for Shelley. So Nelson completes to Eaton. Now Shelley will hand off. Up the middle, big run, Riker Klinger all the way out to the Pocatello 45-yard line. That is a gain of 15 and a Russet's first down. So Shelley, you know, like we said, they're pretty upfront about what they want to do. They just want to pound the rock, and you know, I've kind of nicknamed them the Russian Russets, not because they're from Russia, but you know, they like to rush the football. You could call them the running Russets as well, but either way,
the running potatoes. Well, you know, there's that new amateur hockey team in Idaho Falls that is using a potato as a mascot.
Yeah, the Spud Kings. They're, I think their season has started already, right?
Or tonight, maybe was the first tonight, game I saw something.
Kidman took that last run for 2 yards. It's 2nd and 8 now for the Russets from the Pocatello 43. 10:45 to go before halftime. Inside counter, this is Caden Johnson, and Johnson slams into a red wall of Pocatello defenders. Devin Rodriguez, the first guy in there. And if he's not an all-state linebacker when the season's all finished up, then
man, he's just been impressive every game we've watched.
Yeah. Somebody made a mistake if he's not on the all-state team, right?
Yeah, he's very smart at knowing where to go, and you know, that's coaching, and just some linebackers have that ball hawking capability.
3rd and 6 for Shelley. They've got a tight end and a wingback in motion, and penalty flag comes out. Head coach Josh Wells on the sideline for Shelley, throwing his arms up saying, what did we do? They're going to get them for the illegal shift.
False start.
Oh, actually a false start. So I guess maybe one of the offensive linemen shifted out of position. The rule with the offensive lineman is you're free to move until you put your hand down. And then once you put your hand down, you got to stay still like a statue.
Yeah, I think the one on the end, as the two Shelley Russets went in motion, moved a little bit on the far end from us.
Oh, the right tackle, possibly.
I think that's what the referee was pointing to.
Yeah. Well, you know, you are an expert code reader for officials. 3rd and 11 following the penalty. Toss play off the right side.
Number 3, Holden Pierce.
That is Holden Pierce, the senior, with his first carry of the night, and now makes it kind of an interesting 4th down call here, Sean. It was 3rd and 11. He picked up 9 yards to make it 4th and 2.
4th and 2, you're just over in the Thunder's neck of the woods. I think they're going to go for it.
Yeah, I think you line up and go for it here. Certainly.
Down.
4th and 2. Shelley has had a lot of trouble running up the middle tonight. The interior of that Pocatello defensive line has been pretty stout. We'll see what Shelley does here on 4th and 2 from the Pokey 37. 8:50 to play before halftime. 7-0 Thunder lead. Toss to the left side for Pierce. Trying to get to the edge and does for the Shelley first down. Had one man to beat to the edge. That was Tyshawn Harrell of Pocatello who came charging up, but Holden Pierce is able to pick up the first down, a gain of 6.
Like you said, Shelley's been able to be a little more effective on the edges than up the middle.
Yeah, I would say both teams tonight have really had a tough time up the middle, and getting to the edge has been paramount. So now it's 1st and 10 for the Russets from the Pocatello 31. Double handoff. Caden Johnson slips his way down to the 24. A little double handoff action that time, Sean.
Yeah, it makes me nervous when they do that. Like it's gonna, like the football's gonna fall out or something. You're just you're kind of clinching a little bit.
There's a gain of 7 to Caden Johnson. So 2nd down and 3 now for the Russets. 8:20 to play before halftime. Ball at the Pocatello 24. Inside handoff. Klinger stood up. Maybe got a yard. We'll see where they put him. Looks like they're going to give him 2. Leading the charge that time for the Pocatello defense was Cutter Stuckey. And wow, and they give him a lot of forward progress. It's 3rd and inches now, so we'll give him 3 yards unofficially.
Yeah, that marker's less than like a foot away, I believe now.
Yeah, third and inches for the Russets. 7:50 to play before halftime. 7-0 Pocatello lead. Ball is at the Pocatello 21. Inside handoff, Caden Johnson gets the first down to the 19. And now Shelley in the red zone knocking on the door.
And what a luxury for Shelley. They have just, 3 or 4 running backs in there. And when you have those short run yards, it's pretty easy for them.
7.5 to play here before halftime. Shelley knocking at the door here. 1st and 10 from the Pocatello 19. Toss play right side. This is Klinger. Inside the 15. And down around the 14-yard line goes Riker Klinger on first down. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. This is a game that, it's a non-conference battle, certainly. Pocatello still favored to win the Southeast Idaho Conference over Preston and Century. Shelley off to a 2-0 start in their conference. Probably will come down to their battle with Skyline for that league title. As Shelley pushes the pile, still going. Wow. Inside the 10, down around the 8 for the first down is Caden Johnson for a gain of 5. But you feel like this is going to be an important game in terms of the Max Preps rankings and the seeding for the 4A postseason.
Yeah, I pulled up those rankings, and Pocatello's 9 right now, and Shelley's 10. So
yeah,
this game could decide maybe a home game or not a home game.
Yeah, it doesn't get any closer than that. Shelley, Caden Johnson into the end zone for the Russets touchdown from 6 yards out. So a 6-yard touchdown run for Caden Johnson, and the Russets answer the Pocatello touchdown. Nice run there with 6:09 to play here before halftime.
Number 43.
On for the point after try is the guy who wasn't on the initial roster, then got added later on. It's a junior kicking for Shelley, Luke Pasco, and a line drive kick clears it. So Pasco's PAT is through, and with 6:09 to play here before halftime, we are deadlocked at 7s. We'll be back right after this break. You're watching Gate City Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
$1,100 per year.
Welcome back to Gate City Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Shelley and Pocatello tied at 7. See the gentleman in the orange and black? That is Idaho State University head football coach Charlie Regal taking in a little action tonight as the kickoff is back underway here. Returned by Riken Echohawk. Penalty flag comes out. A good return out to the 39, but this may be coming back. So how about that? Big celebrity. And, for the first game ever at Lookout Stadium, we had Pocatello Mayor Brian Bladd. I'd argue that Charlie Regal, the head football coach at ISU, might be a bigger celebrity.
I mean, I don't want to pass any judgment, Brandon.
Spoken like a true politician.
No, that's great. It's great for the city of Pocatello and the ISU Bengals, and just it's good community, and I like it.
Now, Coach Regal can't comment about why he's here and who he's looking at, right? NCAA rules, but I can tell you what I saw with my eyes down on the field pregame tonight. Coach Regal was talking to Riken Echohawk a little bit from Pocatello, and then also Hunter Hyam for Shelley was doing some long snaps for Coach Regal, and he was timing his, how quickly he was getting the long snaps back as Echohawk takes the carry for a couple. Coach Regal, of course, has a special teams background, very acclaimed special teams coach before becoming the head coach here at ISU. So definitely scouting players on both sides.
Yeah, and like we talked about, that's the job you want, right? Long snapper, you can go all the way to the NFL and play for 30 years.
Definitely. So Echohawk carries for 4 on first down to make it 2nd and 6. We'll actually call it 2nd and a short 7. So kind of a cool deal. ISU coach Charlie Regal in the house tonight. Hunter May passes behind Applington and short, and now it's 3rd down and 7. Right? Should be 3rd down.
Should be 3rd, yeah 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7, okay.
And yeah, if you're a football coach, what a better way to spend a Friday night watching some high school football.
That's right. There's a lot of good players in the state of Idaho that get overlooked sometimes by the in-state schools. Coach Regal has done a really nice job of making sure he's not leaving any stones unturned. Hunter May, meanwhile, gets turned back on 3rd and 7. Had nowhere to go. Leading the charge for Shelley that time defensively was Dallin Hurd, the junior safety. And May is able to pick up 3, and it's 4th down. So 5:19 to play before halftime. 4th and 3 for Pocatello at their own 32-yard line. They will punt it away. That came off the side of the foot funny. Bounces out of bounds around the 50. They're going to mark it out right at the 50-yard line. So the punt that time from Pocatello, and punting was Maddox Moore, a junior, kind of came off the side of his foot funny.
Yeah, and 53 for Shelley, Jake Dickerson, he almost got it. I almost thought maybe he got a hand on it, but I think it just came off his foot, like you said, funky.
I think he tried to sidestep and ended up
avoid a penalty of hitting the punter.
Right. 1st and 10 now for Shelley. Ball is right at the 50-yard line. Nate Nelson under center will turn and hand to Klinger on 1st down, and Klinger will pick up 2.
Number 1, Dr. Klinger with the carry. Gavin Rodriguez with the tackle.
And for Shelley, you feel like, 5 minutes to go before halftime. They can really put together a nice drive, bleed the clock down. Last week, Sean, we were at Burley, Minico for Magic Valley game night, and Minico did that, right? They took the last 6 minutes off the clock, scored on a 4th and inches play at the goal line, literally as time expired right before halftime.
Yeah, and it was kind of turned the tables, too, because just like in this game, Pocatello will get the ball in the second half to start with, and, it was the difference of being up 2 scores to just 1 score at halftime, so it kind of turned the tables a little bit.
False start penalty won't help, though, as Shelley again tried that where they bring the tight end and the wing back in motion. 2nd time in a row that it's resulted in a false start penalty. So it's going to be 2nd and 14 now for Shelley with 4:30 to play before halftime.
That might be a play they don't use anymore during this game. I don't know.
Yeah, you can see the exasperation on head coach Josh Wells' face on that Shelley sideline. Nelson middle screen overthrew his man Klinger, incomplete, 3rd and long.
Pass incomplete.
So just the 3rd pass attempt of the night for Nate Nelson, who also golfs for the Shelley High golf team. They took 2nd at the District 6 competition on Monday, and Nelson finished in the top 3 overall. And so I was talking to a couple Shelley coaches tonight, and I said, yeah, Nelson's a pretty good golfer. And they said, yeah, our entire golf team also plays football. But cool. I mean, good for them, right?
Yeah, I think it's great.
State tournament next week. I believe it's in Idaho Falls, the 4A state golf tournament. 3rd and 14. Nelson going for the home run. Ball broken up and nearly intercepted. Great coverage by Jonah Bruner downfield for Pocatello. Trying to go deep that time, I believe, to Riker Klinger. And dangerous pass gets knocked away. That intended receiver actually was Canyon Alphin. So it's 4th down.
A nice job by him to kind of go back and kind of deter the pokey defender, or that would have been picked off. It was just short.
So 4th and 14 now with 4:07 to play here before halftime, and Shelley will have to punt. Kidman gets it off. Nice high kick. Will take a bounce at the 20. Shelley trying to down it inside the 5, and they will. Textbook downed at the 2-yard line. What a punt from Caden Kidman.
That's the best punt I've seen all year. I mean, that was a great punt.
And so now Pocatello with 3:54 to go before halftime. 1st and 10 from their own 2. Like John Elway, they'll have to go 98 yards.
Well, you know, it's been done before. But kind of dangerous. You don't want anything to go. You don't want anything disastrous to happen when you're down in your own end zone. So we'll see what Pokey can draw up here.
They're going to throw a deep ball, broken up. So just like we saw Shelley on their possession, Pocatello tries a deep ball to Chance Crittenden. And it's C.J. Fielding on the coverage for Shelley, incomplete. I like the play call, though. I mean, it's 1st and 10 from your own 2. Defense probably expecting you to just run and get a little breathing room, but you go for the home run ball.
Yeah, and, Pocatello's offensive line's been pretty good tonight. I feel like they've given Hunter May the time to just a little off on the passes.
So 2nd and 10. They will try a sweep play with Reich and Echo Hawk, and oh boy, look out! Echo Hawk the 40, 1 man to beat, they won't get him! 98-yard touchdown run for Reich and Echo Hawk! Just how they drew it up, Sean.
Well, that's why they didn't run it on the first one, I guess.
They were lulling him to sleep with that deep pass, and Reich and Echo Hawk, we talked about the speed, the explosiveness, got to the edge, and there was nobody home for Shelley. A 98-yard touchdown run for Reich and Echo Hawk. With 3:34 to go before halftime. What a tremendous play. Garrett Keller on for the point after try again.
And Pokey had the 2 receivers out, and I think Shelley thought they were going to throw it.
Keller nails it. And so 3:34 to play before halftime. Pocatello back on top 14-7 on the 98-yard touchdown run by Reich and Echo Hawk. We will be back right after this break. You're watching Gate City Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
Your home team, when local matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Welcome back to Gate City Game Night on IdahoSports.com. From Lookout Field, Brandon Baney, Sean Kane, Joel Richardson with you tonight, where 3:34 to play here before halftime. Pocatello gets the lead back on the 98-yard touchdown run by Riken Echohawk. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Valley Office Systems in Rico. They're your local hometown office solutions team, delivering the level of service that you expect because they are a service company above all else. Valley Office Systems in Rico want to wish all the Gate City teams best of luck. We've got all three Gate City teams on IdahoSports.com tonight, Sean. Century is up at Ravston Stadium playing Idaho Falls in another 4A non-conference battle. And then over at Iron Horse Stadium, we've got Blackfoot and Highland in what should be a pretty entertaining non-conference battle. We'll take a look at all the scores at halftime on the Friday Night Flash, our interactive, in real-time, live updating scoreboard. We'll take a look at the first half stats as well, but boy, 98-yard touchdown run by Riken Echohawk. What a play.
Well, you said, Pocatello likes to take some big shots. This time it was just on the ground. And, yeah, you kind of felt like Shelley was kind of pushing the momentum, and there's just been a huge shift right here in the last just couple minutes.
Yeah, Shelley had the momentum, and then, their drive kind of got stalled out. They had to punt. They had it all the way down to the 2, and I thought they still had the momentum at that point, but all it takes sometimes in football is one play. There's a pitch out to Riker Klinger for Shelley on first down, and he'll pick up 9 to make it 2nd and 1. 3:20 to go before halftime. 14-7, Pocatello lead. And how do the Russets respond here? Nelson will turn and give up the middle. Spinning like a top is Klinger. A penalty flag comes out at the very end of the play as well, Sean. We'll see what the call is here. There's actually Caden Johnson who got the carry that time for Shelley. Had enough for the first down, and we'll see what the flag is. Personal foul against Pocatello.
Personal foul on the play.
So that's kind of a big penalty.
Yeah. Definitely is.
I mean, Shelley obviously had the first down, but it's almost shifting the field position.
3 minutes to go before halftime and a 14-7 advantage for Pocatello. But Shelley now with the ball at their own 47, and they're at midfield. Klinger on the pitch out will take it out to the 49 for a gain of 2. Strung out that time for Pocatello by Carson Christensen defensively. Meanwhile, the clock really rolling here, Sean. We're down to 2:30 to play here before halftime. Shelley may have to quicken the pace just slightly.
And they might have to throw the ball.
2nd and 8. On cue, Nate Nelson cues it up. Throws a deep ball, has a man, caught down to the 10-yard line. Henry Hyam, the junior, hauls it in over the top. Well, Sean, you wanted a big pass. You got it. From their own 49 all the way down to the Pocatello 12 and a first down.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like on a 3rd down or something, but yeah, they hit it pretty good right there.
That was Henry Hyam with the 39-yard grab. And now Shelley going to pound it up the middle here with 1:50 to play before halftime. That is a gain of about 5 on the carry. And that was Caden Kidman who carried that ball. So 2nd and 5 for Shelley. Ball to Pocatello 7. Up the middle again. It'll be 3rd and short for Shelley. Kidman again gets the rock.
Number 9, Devin Rodriguez.
It's going to be 3rd and 4 for Shelley after a 1-yard gain, and we're down to 1:10 to play before halftime. Shelley does have all 3 timeouts. Actually, they have, looks like 2 timeouts remaining. Up the middle, Shelley working quickly here. We're inside a minute to play before halftime, down 14-7. It'll be 4th and 1 for the Russets after the 2-yard run up the gut by Klinger.
All right, here we go. 4th down, 40 seconds, and they're going to take a timeout.
Smart call.
Timeout, Shelley.
Make sure you have a good play drawn up here. 35 seconds to play before halftime. It is 14-7, Pocatello on top. Thanks to a 13-yard touchdown run by Hunter May, and then the 98-yard touchdown run by Riken Echohawk. Shelley's lone score came on a 6-yard touchdown run by Caden Johnson. And the Russets have it presently 4th and 1 at the Pocatello 4-yard line. They've got to get to the 3 for the first down. And I believe Shelley still has 2 timeouts remaining, and I think Pocatello's got all 3.
Yeah, I believe this is the first timeout of the first half.
So what do you dial up here, Sean? You've been very prophetic tonight with your predictions.
Oh, boy. Well, I mean, they've basically, Shelley ran it up the middle 3 times and got, 9 yards? That's 4th and 1. I don't know, maybe they run it up the middle again. I mean,
I don't know. That's risky. Pocatello has been pretty stout up the middle.
I could see him come out to this left side here, but again, they've got everyone lined up in that.
Quarterback sneak for Nate Nelson. He's got the first down. Pocatello going to say they got the stop, but I think he got it.
That was right, up the middle.
And Shelley's going to burn their second timeout. It'll be 1st and goal for the Russets now. Ball is at the Pocatello 3-yard line.
And what I kept thinking in my mind is, oh, they've got to get the touchdown, but it was only, 1 yard just to get a whole nother set of downs. So
right.
So yeah, that made a lot more sense with the quarterback sneak there, just to get that 1 yard.
And for Shelley now, I mean, you can still run the ball here on 1st and goal. They actually put it at the 2. So Nate Nelson got 2 yards on that quarterback sneak, his first carry of the night. You can run it here, and if you don't get it, you still have a timeout to use, but you could even hurry to the line and just try to snap the ball again.
Yeah, you could just do 2 quarterback sneaks really quick, or, they might just try to run it out to the edge on this first one. But, the downside of that is that there isn't a lot of time. You don't want to get too fancy and run out of time.
So 1st and goal from the 2. Shelley trying to tie it up here, down 14-7, and just 28 seconds to play here before halftime. The Thunder fans making some noise, rocking and rolling. Second football game ever in the history of this immaculate facility, Lookout Field. QB sneak, Nate Nelson in for the Shelley touchdown.
Touchdown, Shelley Russets.
So the Russets get the answer with just 22 seconds to go before halftime on a 2-yard touchdown run by Nate Nelson.
Number 43, Luke Pascal with the attack.
And again, on for the point after try for Shelley here will be Luke Pasco, the junior. Pasco drills it.
Kick is good.
We are tied at 14 all with just 22 seconds to go here before halftime. That was a pretty impressive way to respond, and really it was keyed, Sean, by that 39-yard bomb from Nate Nelson to Henry Hyam.
Yeah, I mean, that was huge. Pocatello was kind of mounting their kind of momentum swing, and that pass from the Russets just kind of changed the tide, got them in scoring position, and, Shelley did what they do. They ran the ball.
So this has kind of been like a boxing match where early on in the first quarter, right, we were scoreless. Pocatello led finally 7-0 after 1 quarter of play, but now we've kind of had a few home runs, right? A couple of knockout-style punches, big plays.
Yeah, we had Echo Hawk with the hook, and then Hiram with a kind of swinging right hand down the field.
Yeah, a little uppercut maybe from
Number 8, back for Pocatello.
Hyam. All the Hyams are on the golf team as well for Shelley. They're all related. This kickoff will roll out of bounds at the 1 for a penalty. Them's the breaks.
Yeah, you know, they got the great punt down there, and then that kick just went out of bounds at the wrong time.
Yeah, sometimes that's just what happens on kickoffs like that. So Pocatello will get it out at the 35-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. And 22 seconds to go before halftime. All 3 timeouts still remaining. Pocatello's got that big play potential, right? Hunter May's got the arm. And he's got some pretty fleet-footed receivers. You know, Crew Hales hasn't caught a pass yet tonight, but he's kind of been the big play guy.
I don't think he's playing, Brandon. Number 3, he's down there in plain clothes.
Wow, okay. This is why you get paid the big bucks, Sean.
Well, he went out as a captain, I believed, and then I just kind of put together that he isn't playing tonight.
Yeah, okay. You are correct. A quick little hitter to Echo Hawk for a gain of 6. Makes it 2nd down and 4. 17 seconds to go before halftime. The receiver did get out of bounds, so 2nd and 4. So Crittenden is at the bottom of your screen. The 2 receivers up top are the Parkers, Applington and Smith. And then at the very tippy top of your screen, kind of hard to see him up there, but that 3rd receiver at the top is Alex Wynn. They throw it to Wynn in the flat, and Wynn maneuvering out to the Shelley 48 with 10 seconds to go before halftime. That is a gain of 11 and another 1st down.
And Wynn, he's kind of probably their big game kind of capability guy out there at the receiving side. When they played Twin Falls, he made just an amazing catch in the end zone, getting his feet down. So I think he's kind of a guy they might have to look for.
Pocatello takes a timeout here with 10 seconds to go before halftime. It is 1st and 10 for the Thunder with the ball up to the Shelley 46-yard line. So that was a 14-yard pass from May to Wynn. And we know that, the Pocatello kicker, Garrett Keller, has a pretty decent leg. So if you can get him close enough to attempt a field goal.
Maybe like 15 more yards. Yeah. Maybe you take a shot at it.
Or you could also, go for the end zone pass, right?
Yeah.
At the 46-yard line. May certainly has the arm to deliver. 10 seconds to go before halftime. Tied at 14 all. May on the rollout will fire short. That's caught. Chance Crittenden slips out of bounds around the 32-yard line with 4 seconds to go before halftime. Gain of 13. And now you probably have time for one play here, Sean.
Yeah, 4 seconds. Probably going to look at the end zone. And you know what I thought they might have done on the last play, the Thunder, is I thought they might do a kind of a draw, kind of act like they're going to pass it and give it to Echo Hawk maybe to run up the middle because Shelley was kind of watching the sidelines.
Timeout, Pocatello.
And Pocatello is going to call the timeout here with 4 seconds to go, which leads me to believe, since Crittenden got out of bounds and the clock stopped, this isn't a timeout to, preserve the clock. This is a timeout to draw up a play, which leads me to believe that might be a trick play of some kind.
Yeah. Oh, and it looks like the kicker's going out.
And they are going to bring, okay. Well, after all that, here's Garrett Keller out for the field goal try. This will be a 50-yard field goal attempt from the 33-yard line.
I still wouldn't put it past to be maybe a trick play, though, too. Like when you said that, I kind of got that feeling.
Let's help him get this.
I mean, this is going to be a big league kick here for Garrett Keller from 50 yards out if he can drill this. No longer in the climate-controlled Holt Arena. You got to deal with the wind here, and now Shelley going to take a timeout. Now, are they taking the timeout to ice the kicker, or are they taking the timeout because they're like you, Sean, and they believe it may be a fake of some kind?
Yeah, I mean, 50-yard kick just makes me think that's not what you're going to do, but, And, Shelley had a timeout, and, either ice or either just, make everyone aware of what the different scenarios could be and why not be more settled in what you want your guys to do.
I had an old coach that used to say, the timeouts, you can't take them with you. Might as well use them, right?
Right.
That's what they're for. They're going to keep Keller out there. The holder is Alex Wynn. So we'll keep an eye on this. Again, a 50-yard field goal try for Garrett Keller right before halftime. Keller gets into it. Just short. Maybe a yard or two shy, but what an effort by Garrett Keller. A 50-yard try nearly got through, but instead Pocatello will settle for the halftime tie, 14-14 with the Russets of Shelley. We will be back with the halftime show right after this break. You're watching Gate City Game Night, presented by Lookout Credit Union on IdahoSports.com.
When local matters, Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
All right, I put this on one check. Is that okay? Draw?
That was fast and secure. It's Mobile Wallet from Lookout Credit Union.
Your home team, when local matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Welcome back to Gate City Game Night on IdahoSports.com from Lookout Field on the campus, I guess, technically of Hawthorne Middle School, but it is Pocatello High's facility. And what a beautiful facility it is. Second game ever in the history of Lookout Field. And, well, just like the first game, pretty good one here at halftime. tied at 14-all between Shelley and Pocatello. 7-0 Pocatello lead after one. Then each side traded scores right before halftime. Really the two big plays were the 98-yard touchdown run by Reich and Echohawk. That put Pocatello ahead 14-7. And then Shelley responds with a big pass, a 39-yard pass from Nate Nelson to Henry. Hyam gets him down into Pocatello territory. And from there, Nate Nelson ends up taking it in on a QB sneak.
Yeah, nice job by really both teams' defenses. Both well able to get a lot of stops, but both teams had some kind of big plays that made the difference. And like I kind of thought, it was going to be kind of a Pocatello's defensive line versus the Shelley offensive line, and both have done their jobs well. Pocatello's defense has stopped a few times, and Shelley's offensive line has been able to help propel the potato into the end zone.
Yeah, I knew you were going to sneak in a potato reference somewhere.
It's my favorite logo in Idaho.
Oh, yeah, the King Russet? Yeah, who wouldn't like that? Okay, let's take a look at the halftime stats here. Both teams have run the ball very effectively. For Shelley, they have 115 rushing yards, and they have 45 passing yards for a grand total of 160 yards of total offense. And for Pocatello, 149 yards on the ground, 61 yards through the air, and 210 yards of total offense. And we should mention right before halftime, Garrett Keller came out for a 50-yard field goal try and missed it by maybe 2 yards. It was like 2 yards short. So that's a pretty big-time kick from Garrett Keller, even though it did not clear the crossbar. Individuals for Shelley, they are led on the ground by Riker Klinger, 11 carries for 51 yards. It is Caden Johnson, 5 carries for 27 yards and a touchdown. Caden Kidman has 5 carries for 16 yards. It is Holden Pierce, 2 carries for 17 yards. And then Nate Nelson, the very Jerome Bettis-like line of 2 carries, 4 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, no one will care as long as it's a touchdown.
That's right. So Nelson, the QB there, has run it 2 times tonight. Nelson has also completed 2 of 5 passes for 45 yards. 1 pass went to Cason Eaton for 6 yards, and then the 39-yard pass to Henry Hyam. And for Pocatello tonight, Reich and Echohawk, 7 carries, 128 yards, and the touchdown. A lot of that came, of course, on the 98-yard touchdown run. Hunter May, the Pocatello quarterback, 4 carries for 19 yards and a touchdown. Tyson Beckles has 1 carry for 2 yards. Parker Applington, 1 carry for -2 yards. Hunter May, 6 of 10 passing, 61 yards. Top receiver tonight has been Reich and Echohawk, 3 catches for 25 yards. Chance Crittenden has 2 catches for 22 yards. And then Alex Wynn, 1 grab for 14 yards. So for Pocatello, pretty good balance, and I really think we're starting to see Hunter May, really settle in and take the reins. Right now, we're going to bring you the IdahoSports.com halftime contest. This is something new we're doing this year in partnership with the Pocatello School District. It is the punt, pass, and kick competition, Sean. So you get a punt, then you get a pass, and then wherever the ball is at, you kick the field goal.
Yeah, I mean, you're hoping the legs warmed up. When we were at Pocatello last time, the gentleman did a pretty good job. Robert Parker, the AD of Pocatello, helped him out a little bit too. I like that.
Yeah, last time we had a 60-some-year-old gentleman who was kicking barefoot. That's a pretty good punt to start all the way to the 49-yard line.
Wow.
That's a pretty good punt to start. I'm a little worried.
And he wants the crowd to get involved.
Yeah, Robert Parker's a pretty good showman. If this young man nails the kick, IdahoSports.com owes him $200. We're on the hook for that. They're going to be shaking you down for the money after the game tonight, Sean.
Joel can't hear us, but I hope he brought the money.
Here's the pass. Where will that land? Oh, baby, that's going to roll inside the 10. This is going to be a chippy.
Wow.
Down to the 6-yard line for the field goal try here. $200 on the line.
And if Dave Spillett is out here, if this is a Pocatello kid, man, why is he on the team?
Yeah, right? Let's get this kid signed up. All right. Here we go. He's going to get the tee, and this is going to be, from the 6? So this will be a 23-yard field goal try, Sean. And Robert Parker, the Pocatello athletic director, running the competition. Great showman, right? Getting the crowd fired up.
Looks like he's going to go down to make sure it's good.
Yeah, he's got to be our spotter. I'm sweating up here. I'm nervous. Here we go for $200.
Oh no!
Wide left.
Yes, miss. Good job. Give a round of applause, Kanan.
Oh, bummer. All right. Well,
Man, that's got to be the farthest down anyone's gotten.
Oh, for sure. So we will be bringing that to you at halftime of every game this year on Gate City Game Night, right here on IdahoSports.com. Well, as the two teams get ready to warm up for the second half, we will take a break and warm up as well, as it's gotten rather chilly here at Lookout Field. At halftime, Shelley 14, Pocatello 14. We will be back right after this on Gate City Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
Your home team, when local matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Welcome back to Lookout Field. Pocatello High School's brand new football facility. It is Gate City Game Night, presented by Lookout Credit Union on IdahoSports.com. We are tied up and moments away from the start of the third quarter of action. It is the Shelley Russets 14 and the Pocatello Thunder 14. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Brandon Bainey joined by Joel Richardson for the second half of action. Joel, that was a pretty exciting first half of action.
Yeah, a lot of good offensive plays, good defensive plays. I thought it would be a lot more defense, but plenty of offense to go around. Very exciting, and some big plays to get touchdowns going. One big play, 98-yarder, right, for Pocatello from Reich and Echohawk. And then before that, had a nice play from Shelley to set up that last touchdown. So, yeah, big plays, good offense, good defense all around.
And really, even Pocatello, with like 40 seconds left before the half, moved the ball down the field pretty quickly to get Garrett Keller in position for that 50-yard field goal try that was just short. So we were talking at halftime before we took the break at, Hunter May, he's a sophomore for Pocatello, kind of came into the season expecting to be a varsity contributor at other positions and maybe like a JV quarterback, and all of a sudden Drake Contreras has had a couple of injuries, and Hunter May, it's his show, and we were here 3 weeks ago when Pocatello played Twin Falls, and I saw Hunter May play in the season opener at the Rocky Mountain Rumble, and he's really growing and maturing before our eyes. He's really getting comfortable running this offense.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking before the game, looking at some stats and thinking, this may be Hunter May's opportunity to really do something. He's had 2 or 3 games to really get comfortable with the offense. He started more games, I think, than Drake Contreras this season so far, if I'm not mistaken. So this was his opportunity to finally be comfortable and really take control of this offense, and he's done a really good job so far. He's had a couple miscues on throws, but had a couple good runs, and just running the offense really nicely.
Just looks a lot more poised and a lot smoother. And for Shelley, they're doing what head coach Josh Wells said they were going to do. We're going to run the ball. We're going to run the clock. And outside of a couple of big plays defensively that they've allowed, Shelley is running their game plan to perfection as well. So really, I think it's going to come down to maybe which side can get a turnover to start the second half. Both sides have been close. Here is the opening kickoff of the second half. We'll be taken at the 2-yard line by Reichen. Actually, this is on the return for Pocatello.
Number 14, down
out to the 15-yard line. So Pocatello will start 1st and 10 there. And on the return was Cutter Stuckey. Boy, that took forever to find my roster.
I thought it was 8. I thought it was 6. I couldn't find that 5. But yeah, that was Carter Stuckey on that kickoff return.
So Stuckey returns it out to the 17-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Thunder. Thunder in those red jerseys and Shelley in the whites. They'll start with a play action, bootleg, rollout. Hunter May at the last moment throws out of bounds. One of those plays where he was close to the line of scrimmage. I thought maybe he might just take off and run, but he decides to flick it out of bounds instead.
Yeah, probably saw something that we didn't see, so threw that play out of bounds. But yeah, for sure, I thought he was going to take off on that one and get a couple.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for Pocatello following the incomplete pass. And Pokey was able to pass the ball a little more efficiently than Shelley was in that first half. 61 yards through the air for Pocatello on 6 completions. So, that's 10 yards of completion. That's enough to move the chain. 2nd and 10. May, pitch out on the option play to Reicheneckohawk, cuts back inside and now bounces to the outside and dances his way for a first down and a gain of 11.
Great cut by Reichen. Great cut to see that hole, use it, and cut inside. Just really, really nice to watch him run. What a treat, right, tonight to be watching Reicheneckohawk run.
So Reicheneckohawk has been the starting running back for Pocatello since basically day one his freshman year. And as a freshman, kind of a scrawny kid, but he had the speed, right? He's always had the speed. Then last year as a sophomore, he shows up, he's a little more muscular, put on some weight. Now this year we're really starting to see the patience and the style of running. He's almost got it mastered. And again, just a junior. This time Reicheneckohawk tripped up in the backfield. That was a nice tackle from Shelley's Austin Cannon, the junior linebacker. And because of that, Echohawk loses 2 yards. That doesn't happen often.
Now Cannon snuffed that one out, was able to pursue pretty quickly and bring him down for a loss. Nice play by Cannon.
This is a Shelley team that's got a lot of tough athletes out there, especially defensively. The defense has played really well the last 2 weeks. They pitched a shutout last week against Bonneville. They won 28-0. 2nd and 12, May, screen, caught Alex Wynn. Wynn makes a man miss at the 35 and takes it out to the 37, where it'll be 3rd and manageable.
We were talking about Hunter May getting more comfortable in that quarterback position. Really good throw right there. Good speed, good poise on that throw. Really nice.
9-yard pitch and catch from May to Wynn makes it 3rd and 3 now for Pocatello. Really, it's a 3rd and a short 3. We'll call it 2. So we'll give 10 yards to May and Wynn on that last pass. Can Shelley get a stop here on 3rd down with 10:02 to play here in the 3rd?
Looks like power right.
They've got Beckles, the big man, in the backfield, and Beckles will pick up the first down by a yard. Needed 2, got 3. Good call there with the power rush.
You guys, you and Sean were talking a couple weeks ago about they had against that Twin Falls game, right? They had Echohawk as the Thunder and Beckles as the Thunder. Kind of like instead of Thunder Lightning, right? Kind of a Thunder.
Yeah, a couple of studs in the backfield for sure. And Beckles will remain out there with Reicheneckohawk taking the snaps as the Wildcat quarterback. Echohawk will keep it up the middle this time and will get the first down. Makes a couple of men miss and then finally is kind of steer wrestled down around the 47-yard line. That is a gain of 12 and a first down.
Nice hole. You can see Echohawk's speed. As soon as he finds that hole, he zips. That speed that we've been seeing since freshman year.
And they're continuing to run that dual running back package where Echohawk is kind of the Wildcat back, if you will. Now Hunter May checks back into the huddle, and this is a wrinkle that Pocatello can, as May becomes more comfortable, it's not a gimmick anymore when they run that Wildcat. It really is a nice complement to the offense.
And I believe they started that at Highland, if I'm not mistaken.
They did in the second half of that Black and Blue Bowl, a game that Pocatello nearly won, right? They lost 14-7, the closest it's been in a couple of years. This is Beckles on the carry up the middle this time, and Tyson Beckles takes it for 5.
2nd down and 5 yards to go.
We talked at the beginning of the half. This may be who has, whose defense can stop the run last. So far, Pocatello having a nice 3rd quarter, running the ball mostly.
Yeah, Pocatello's 2-3, but 2 of those 3 losses were one-score games. They lost to Highland 14-7. They lost to Hillcrest last week, 29-21. And Echohawk brought down in the backfield on the screen. Great open field tackle by Chance Waite.
Yeah, Chance Waite got it right around that block. I mean, it missed block or just a better defensive play, but either way, dodged that block and made that great tackle. Nice defensive stop by the Russets.
That pass goes for -6 yards, and it's now 3rd and 11 for Pocatello. Ball back at their own 48-yard line with 7:45 and counting here in the third. I guess you could say that Waite was waiting.
Well, he'll be here all night, folks.
Yeah. Well, I'll be here for another 17 minutes or so, whatever time is left in the game. 3rd and 11.
Empty backfield.
May flushed out, will take off and run, and will get the first down and more. Lowers the shoulder down to the 30. That's a gain of 19 and a first down.
What we thought he would do back there at, what was that, the 20 or so, he found it this time. Had an empty backfield, lots of room to run, and took off on that right side. Nice read by Hunter May.
Yeah, that was. And you mentioned empty backfield, so there's nobody there to keep the defense honest. The pass rushers can kind of pin their ears back, and May showing off the athleticism that time. He says, I'm not just a short yardage guy that, runs it in from the 10 in.
Excuse me, Brent, I was just going to say that shows poise. He makes that throw for -6 yards, and then next play or a few plays later, he makes it happen.
Another screen pass, Alex Wynn this time, wrapped up immediately by Tegan Almond. Wynn gets -1 yard. But you're right, great poise to shake off the negative play and then make a big play on 3rd down.
Yeah, big play to keep this game close and keep this drive moving. And you got to capitalize on those 3rd down opportunities to keep yourself actively in the game.
So Shelley's defended these past couple of screen passes pretty well. As the chess match between Pocatello coach Dave Spillett and Shelley coach Josh Wells, two of the great coaches in the state of Idaho. Both great guys, really nice, real affable. 2nd and 11, handoff left side, Echohawk gets a block, gets the edge, and will be forced out of bounds at the 6. Great run for 25 yards and a first down.
Yeah, good call on that block to find that block and go outside of it versus inside. Nice read by Echohawk. I didn't see who made that block, but really solid block on that outside. As a wide receiver, obviously, those great wide receivers, they can catch, and they can block as well, really well.
Yeah, that was Cutter Stuckey who had the block out on the perimeter to spring it, and that's where we talked about Echohawk now in year 3 as the running back, learning how to read the blocks and have that vision. 1st and goal from the 7. Echohawk blown up in the backfield. 2 Russets in on the stop. The first guy in there was Jacob Meek. Meek certainly was not meek on that play.
Boom. Again. Bringing the dad jokes tonight, Brandon.
Yeah, I gotta stay fresh. Gotta have that material. It is a loss of 3 for Echohawk back to the 10-yard line, where it's now 2nd and goal from the 10. 5:10 to play in the third. Pocatello's had the ball this entire third quarter so far.
This has felt a lot like a russet drive where they just bleed the whole fourth quarter with a nice long drive. Yeah, they're giving the Russets a little taste of their own medicine.
Can they cap it off with a score, though? 2nd and goal from the 10. May out of the shotgun. And the play blown dead before it can start. False start against the Thunder.
Hard count, hurt themselves, unfortunately, on that one, trying to get the defense to jump, but they jumped themselves.
And penalties have kind of, they've been low on both sides, right? We haven't had a ton of flags tonight, but they've come at really bad times, it seems like. There's never a good time for a penalty, but
you definitely don't want one deep in enemy territory trying to score, right, close to the goal line.
Yeah, because now you're looking at 2nd and goal from the 15, and that maybe buys those Pocatello receivers a little more room to work with. When you get down near the goal line and you're trying to pass it for a touchdown, everything gets compressed over the middle. Parker Smith on the slant. It's caught for the Pocatello touchdown.
Great play. I was thinking it might be time to try to go through the middle. They've had a lot of runs onto the outside, a lot of passes to the outside. Found a nice slant through the middle, touchdown. Great throw by Hunter May.
First grab of the night for Parker Smith goes for 15 yards and a Pocatello touchdown. And the cherry on top of the sundae, right? The long drive, and you cap it off with a great touchdown throw. So now it's Garrett Keller on for the point after try. With 4:18 to play here in the third. Pocatello back in front, 20-14. And make it 21-14 as Keller's kick is through the uprights and in. So, 4:18 to play in the third. Pocatello back in front, 21-14. Back with more Gate City Game Night right after this on IdahoSports.com.
All right, I put this on one check. Is that okay? Draw?
That was fast and secure. It's mobile wallet from Lookout Credit Union.
Back at Lookout Field, it is a 21-14 Pocatello lead. Kicking off to Caden Kidman, and Kidman returns it out to the 31-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Russets. Pocatello back on top, 21-14, thanks to the 15-yard touchdown pass from Hunter May to Parker Smith. Tonight's game on IdahoSports.com, brought to you in part by Valley Office Systems and Rico, your local hometown office solutions team, delivering the level of service that you expect because they are a service company above all else. Valley Office Systems and Rico want to wish all the Gate City teams best of luck. How does Shelley respond? Every time Pocatello has scored, the Russets have been able to answer. They'll start with a toss to Riker Klinger on first down, stayed in bounds somehow, and finally taken down around the 40.
He dodged about two tacklers, just dodge. It was really nice run on that first down on the right side.
Did you ever watch the movie Dodgeball?
Yes.
Dip, dodge, duck,
dodge, duck. Yeah, if I were more clever, I would have said that for sure.
And I think they gave Klinger enough for the first down. So initially it looked like he was going to be a yard shy, but they gave him 10 and the chain gang's not ready. They were caught off guard like we were. So 10 yards to Klinger. They'll toss it to the opposite side this time for Klinger. And Klinger gets a seam and a tackle from behind by Devin Rodriguez. Otherwise, Klinger may still be running. As it stands, though, another 10-yard gain and another first down.
Yeah, Devin Rodriguez always in the game. So far, every game we've done, Rodriguez's name always been getting called on defense. Just flying everywhere. I know it's kind of typical to say, but he really is always on those tackles. Whether he's first or second, third, he's always in there.
Yeah, we've described, on our broadcasts this year, this Pocatello defense is fast and fearless, right? They play so fast, and they're not afraid to take on anybody. 1st and 10, toss play again to Klinger. Shelley has seen something that they like where they're going to toss it to the edge and bank on Klinger getting there. That's the third toss play in a row. This one goes for 13 yards and another Shelley first down. 3:28 to play here in the third. Shelley down 21-14. It's almost like they took that last touchdown drive personally, and now they're like, all right, we'll show you how you really run the football.
And these chunk yard plays, it's almost demoralizing for a defense. Okay, you can get 1 or 2 yards, you're feeling good, but first down, especially on a run, that's just brutal for a defense. So nice job by Shelley.
1st and 10, 3:28 to play here in the third. Ball is at the Pocatello 37-yard line. Nelson sends the wing back in motion. They'll give to Caden Johnson up the middle this time. And Johnson tough sled and picks up 1, maybe 2. Nice job that time by Pocatello's Julian Caldwell, the senior, to make the tackle.
Yeah, and just when we say those big chunk plays are can be tough on a defense, they make a nice stop. So impressive stop by Pocatello.
They've played pretty well up the middle tonight, right? Shelley hasn't gotten a ton going between the tackles. And on the flip side, Pocatello, it's all been on the edges as well, right? Both defenses have been stout up the middle. 2nd and 8 for Shelley. Toss play right side, Caden Johnson again, and Johnson will take it to the 30. And this is what makes Shelley so difficult to defend, where Klinger will run it 3 times and then he needs a breather. Well, Caden Johnson can run it 3 times and then he needs a breather. And then they've got Caden Kittman who can run it 3 times. I mean, they've got really a trio of running backs that all have their own unique running abilities, and it makes it really hard to scheme against.
And then randomly, it seems randomly to us, Nate Nelson will have a nice toss for 10, 15 yards.
3rd and 4, toss play, Klinger stays on his feet, helmet comes off, penalty flag comes out. Ultimately, Klinger may be back to the line of scrimmage. He was nearly brought down for a loss of 7. Devin Rodriguez loses his helmet for Pocatello. I can tell because he's got that bleached hair, the blonde hair that looks really good. He'll have to head off for a play. If you lose your helmet, you got to check out. And we'll have to see what this penalty flag is as well, Joel. Kind of came as everybody was piled up in the scrum.
Yeah, I wondered if Devin Rodriguez's helmet came on and he continued active in the play. I couldn't tell.
And sometimes that helmet comes off because it's a face mask, right? You can have an offensive player be called for that.
Right, for grabbing the face mask and holding there.
They're going to sort it out. Meanwhile, Klinger got basically back to the line of scrimmage, which was good on him because...
Yeah, fought for those yards because he was going to be dropped for a big loss.
So the ball is at the Pocatello 32 presently. They have to get to the 28 for the first down. Obvious 4th down territory here, depending on what this call is, with 2:14 to play in the 3rd. And a 21-14 Pocatello lead. While our officials talk for a moment and sort it out, I'll just let everybody know that tonight's game on IdahoSports.com is brought to you in part by Cox's Honey, longtime supporter of our broadcast here at IdahoSports.com. They've been serving Southeast Idaho for almost 100 years. Their honey is 100% honey. No additives, preservatives, or artificial flavors. At Cox's, they take pride in using the high-touch and personal processes that have been in place since the beginning. Be sure to visit the brand-new Cox's Honey store right off the main highway in Shelley. Cox's Honey, real, raw, honest, since 1927. Proud to support the local student-athletes. So what do we have there, Joel?
It was a penalty on Pocatello. I couldn't tell what the signal was from the official.
15-yard penalty.
15-yard or so. That's significant. Personal foul, face mask.
Pocatello kind of doing the shrug like, what did I do? Nothing.
Right.
It looks like they're having a conversation with Julian Caldwell and Maddox Moore for Pocatello, so you assume that those guys were the guilty party. Or sometimes they're the team captains, right? Sometimes the captain will talk to the official and then he'll go explain to his teammates what they did wrong. 1st and 10 for Shelley. Meanwhile, ball at the Pocatello 19.
Yeah,
actually ball at the 18.
That's a brutal penalty for Pocatello. Again, I missed it.
Well, and this has completely halted the momentum of the game, and now both sides are going to
talk about it. Looks like
jog off the field. Okay, this is a new one. I haven't seen this for a while. So they're talking to Shelley head coach Josh Wells. He's on that far sideline, and Josh Wells is also the athletic director at Shelley High and always takes care of us when we're there for IdahoSports.com. Really good guy. And he came in as a former Shelley player that had a lot of success, right? Shelley was the premier 3A program. And Coach Wells had to steer Shelley as they transitioned to the 4A level. And, they took their lumps the first couple years in 4A, right, as the smallest 4A team in the state, which is to be expected. But, even back then, in the midst of a couple of 1- and 2-win seasons, I would talk to Coach Wells, and he said, just wait. He said, we got some middle schoolers that are coming, and they're all here now. And Shelley is kind of back into, they made the playoffs last year, got a first-round win over Preston. Shelley was the 8 seed last year, beat the 9 seed Preston. Then they went up to number 1 Sandpoint and played well for a half. So Coach Wells has done a pretty good job in leading this Shelley transition up to the 4A level. And now they're going to come over and talk to Pocatello head coach Dave Spillett. And, of course, Coach Spillett, former Pocatello player as well. So he's coaching his alma mater, and he's taken Pocatello to the playoffs. And it was kind of the same thing. You know, when I first got to Idaho, 3-4 years ago, Pocatello was struggling a little bit. And Coach Spillett said, just wait. We got some middle schoolers that are coming. And now they're all here. And so Pocatello, 3 years ago, got to the playoffs and had to play the number 1 seed CUNA in their last year in 4A and lost that first-round game. And then they got to the playoffs last year and got a playoff win, got all the way to the semifinals last year where they fell to Skyline, the ultimate state champs.
And Skyline's been tough for several years, right? They have been the powerhouse in one of the powerhouses in 4A, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, back-to-back 4A champs. And so the expectation for Pocatello is we're going to get back to the Final Four this year. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Handoff to Caden Kidman after all of that. Still not sure what they were talking about, really explaining, I guess, what the penalty was. But it really kind of, it almost hurt Shelley because they had all this momentum.
Yeah, they were marching.
And, I mean, we had stoppage of play for, it felt like 5 minutes at least. So Kidman gets 3 on the carry, his first carry of the second half. Ball is down at the Pocatello 15-yard line now.
Power right, looks like.
And off to Klinger, and Klinger met right at the line. You called it out, and so did the Pocatello defense. Julian Caldwell and Cutter Stuckey combo on the stop.
Yeah, that was a nice read by the defense. You see that power, it could be a misdirection, and Shelley would do a misdirection, right? But that time they followed their power right, and so did Pocatello. Nice read.
So no gain on the play, makes it 3rd and 7 now for Shelley with 1 minute to play in the third. Ball still at the Thunder 15-yard line. Shelley quickly to the line and 2-down territory here. Inside counter with Klinger, and again, Pocatello well defended. Klinger gets a couple, and it'll be 4th down and roughly 3 here for the Russets.
So it's interesting, as you called it, Brandon, that penalty kind of almost, it felt like it stifled their momentum, and sure enough, it did. They were moving. Penalty happens, and things just kind of died. But to give some credit to that Pocatello defense, despite losing that penalty, they stood tough, stood tall, and made some nice stops, bringing up 4th and 4.
I think Shelley will have to run a play here. They're not going to be able to take it to the end of the quarter, so here we go. 4th and 4 from the 12. Toss play, Caden Johnson right side. Penalty flag comes out. Johnson, for the moment, has the first down, but this could be coming back.
Yeah, looked like a hold on that right side.
So we will wait and see. And this, again, penalties coming at a bad time. Holding call that's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And so now you're talking about, 4th down and, double-digit yardage. Does Shelley keep the offense out? Do they try a field goal? Their kicker currently wasn't on the roster at the start of the year. So he's, still fairly new to the team. Luke Pasco, the junior.
Another junior. I was talking to Sean earlier about this Shelley team, how many upperclassmen they have. Many, a lot more upperclassmen. Not sure how to say that, Brandon. A lot more upperclassmen than Pocatello. Pocatello's a younger team, a few seniors here and there, but really Shelley has the advantage in terms of experience, upperclassmen, poise. So yeah, not surprising that another player, kicker this time, junior.
So they will line up for the field goal. The clock, meanwhile, is going to take us to the end of the third, and so that will be it. Yeah, they're going to blow this dead. Yeah, that's the end of 3. And so now head coach Josh Wells will have a little longer to think about it. It is a 4th and approximately 15 with the ball back at the 24-yard line. And so this field goal potentially would be a 41-yard kick. So we'll see what Shelley decides to do. We'll take the timeout and come on back. But, man, what a good one we've got. 21-14. Pocatello with the lead after 3 on Gate City Game Night, presented by Lookout Credit Union on IdahoSports.com. Welcome back to Lookout Field. It is Gate City Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Brandon Maney with Joel Richardson and Sean Kane. And here's where we're at. Start of the fourth quarter, 21-14, Pocatello lead. Shelley will come out and try a 41-yard field goal off the foot of junior Luke Pasco. On a 4th and 15 play, Pasco from 41 yards out drills it.
Wow. Right through the uprights. Brilliant field goal by the junior.
That pushed, I mean, it would have been good from 47 probably.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
Had the lift, had the direction. Nice field goal, 41-yarder.
So Luke Pasco with a 41-yard field goal for Shelley gets the Russets to within 21-17 now with 11:57 to play in the fourth. We're one play into the fourth. And so now, but the key for Shelley is, can they get a stop? Been a while since the Russets actually stopped Pocatello on offense.
Yeah, and we'll see if Pocatello can have that kind of long, sustained drive that they had their last time on offense. It would be interesting if they can again give Shelley a little bit of their own medicine and try to establish the run and keep it long, keep the ball, keep the defense on the field, keep Shelley's defense on the field, keep their offense on the field.
Well, and that's what happened to Pocatello last week in that loss to Hillcrest. They had the lead in the fourth quarter, and then the Knights took like 10 minutes off the clock, got a long touchdown drive, and really left the Thunder with about a minute left on the clock. So, yeah, Pocatello trying to avoid a similar fate. Cutter Stuckey bounces off of a defender and returns the kick all the way out to the 39-yard line. Like a pinball was able to bounce off.
That was a big hit to end the drive. But, yeah, he did bounce off that one tackle there to get a few more yards. Nice run.
So Cutter Stuckey's been pretty impressive tonight on special teams. We talked about, I don't think he's here anymore, but Idaho State head football coach Charlie Regal was here earlier tonight, and special teams is kind of his calling card. Of course, the Bengals will play the Montana Grizzlies tomorrow inside Holt Arena. Reich and Echo Hawk here on first down. Jump cuts his way to a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
For a gain of 5 yards.
I'll be very conflicted tomorrow, Joel. I'm a Missoula, Montana native. Grew up as a Montana Grizzly fan. We used to be season ticket holders, but I live in Pocatello now, so I also, kind of have an affinity for the Bengals.
Right, yep.
It's going to be a tough one tomorrow.
As you should, you should, for sure.
It'll be a tough one for sure. 2nd and 5 for Pocatello. Meanwhile, a tough one here between two very evenly matched teams. Echo Hawk trying to stretch out.
Wow.
Hanging on by his ankle. Shelley was trying to make the tackle. That was Carter Balmforth trying to bring down Echo Hawk. And, initial contact was made right at the line of scrimmage, and Echo Hawk's able to stretch out and get 3 yards on that carry for a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, he was going to be stopped, and then he just kind of dragged the defender with him on the ankle, literally dragging by the ankles, dragged the defender a couple more yards to get those 3 yards.
Yeah, it was a pretty impressive run there from Reich and Echo Hawk. We talked about how evenly matched these two teams are. Sean brought it up earlier tonight in the broadcast in the Max Preps ratings. Pocatello number 9 in 4A football, Shelley number 10. So it doesn't get any more even than that. 3rd and 2. May on the quarterback keeper has the first down to the 42-yard line, a gain of 7.
Yeah, he followed his blocking on that left side really nicely. Had a couple of nice blocks there by the offensive line. It's people keep talking about, announcers keep talking about, professionals about, hey, we don't give the offensive line enough credit. I think we're starting to, in the last 4 or 5 years, we're starting to really give credit to the offensive line. They got to be smart, they got to play hard, and they got to play the whole game, usually. So really impressive blocking by Pocatello's O-line.
Yeah, Giovanni Patello and Tommy Smith on that right side of the line, holding down the fort. Hand off to Reich and Echo Hawk on 1st and 10, has the first down, slips his way out at the 25-yard line. That is a gain of 17 and a first down.
Yeah, he is not he's not easy to bring down. Hard to bring down Reich and Echo Hawk. He bounces, he pulls, and he breaks tackles. And just as soon as you think you got him, he jump cuts, right? Cuts inside, cuts outside. Really impressive running by Reichen.
Right now, the clubhouse leader for our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Transportation Department. 1st and 10 for Pocatello. Ball at the Shelley 25. 9:25 to play. Hunter May slips and falls and gets a yard.
You know, as it gets later in the night and colder, as that cold weather kind of really starts setting in, grass tends. I know this is turf, I believe, right, Brandon?
Turf.
So maybe it won't be as slippery, but I know grass gets really slippery. It happens at the college level where, as the game gets later, players start slipping a little bit more. So possibly that's what happened there, because Hunter May had that cut and he was about to go and then just slipped. Unfortunate.
Yeah, part of it is the surface, and part of it is as your body gets colder, your feet don't move quite like they're supposed to, right? And so your footing is less sure as well. Screen pass, Alex Wynn. Wynn will pick up 2. It'll be 3rd and long.
And number 20, Chance Waite with the tackle.
So 3rd down and 7 here for Pocatello. 8:30 to play, up 21-17. Well within field goal range of Garrett Keller at this point.
Student section, you still here tonight? It'll be Cowboy night. Let's get it big. Yeehaw!
It'll be an interesting call for Pocatello if they don't get the 7 yards here on 3rd down. Do they go for it on 4th down? Knowing Coach Spillett a little bit, he's a bit of a gambler. I'd say maybe they would want to go for it and try and put this game away. 3rd and 7, May taking a shot to the end zone. Nearly intercepted.
Yeah, miscommunication, unfortunately, between receiver and quarterback. Receiver looked like he was cutting in, doing a bit of a slant play inside, just like they did down here, other side when they scored that touchdown, but instead May threw a fade to the far side of the end zone.
Yeah, Tegan Almond was the only guy there for Shelley defensively, and had a chance at the interception, and you saw him slam his fists on the ground in frustration.
Yeah, he had to stretch out a little bit, but he had that 2 hands on the ball. You know, the adage is if the ball touches your hands, you should catch that. But I know it's harder to do that. Harder done than said, or something like that.
Easy for you to say up here in the booth, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, Almond with the pop fly, couldn't get the pick, and now it's 4th and 7. Pocatello will go for it with 7:57 to play. May trying to take off and run, will now cut and fake and go up the middle. He's going to be, oh, man. We'll see where they mark it at. It's close.
Wow, they give him a nice spot.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's very close.
He looked short from here, but line judge came out, was walking the line.
And the key was on the run. They're going to say he didn't get it. He's a couple inches short. The key was May faked like he was going to run to the outside and then cut back inside. And so on 4th and 7, officially, May gets 6. And a turnover on downs forced by the Shelley defense with 7:46 to play. That was a huge stop.
Nice stop by the Russets. Again, what's staying strong. Yeah, they give up a lot of yards, but as things get tighter, they held strong.
1st down, Riker Klinger off the edge. Klinger still going, has the 1st down by a wide margin. Takes it from the 16-yard line out to the 32. That's a gain of 16 and a 1st down.
And Klinger says, hey, I can do that too. I can run and jump, cut inside and not get stopped.
On Klinger's 16th carry of the night, he gets 16 yards. What symmetry. 1st and 10 for Shelley. Ball at the Pocatello ball at their own 30-yard line. Up the middle, blown up in the backfield.
I was going to say that they had power right again. Again, Pocatello seeing that power and setting up for on their left side, setting that edge to make sure nothing gets outside, and they were able to bust through the middle. Nice defense.
Caden Kidman loses a yard, and who was in there causing havoc? Devin Rodriguez, Pocatello linebacker.
There he is again.
2nd and 11 now for the Russets. Double handoff. This is Caden Johnson with a seam. Johnson has the 1st down, shakes off a tackle, takes it out to the 49-yard line. So they did that double handoff where the back coming to the left, then hands off to Johnson on the inside, and Caden Johnson takes it for a gain of 20 and a Shelley first down.
That is such good execution, Brandon. I was faked out myself. I was following left, and I saw the hit and realized he doesn't have the ball, and it's on the right side. Really good execution. That takes a lot of practice to really show that fake and to make people and to sell it. Really nice job.
I asked Shelley, Coach Josh Wells, before the game tonight as they give to Klinger up the middle, and actually Johnson again. Caden Johnson lowering the shoulder, taking it to the 39-yard line, a gain of 12, and a Shelley first down. Because they started 0-3, right? And really had gotten blown out in 2 of the games, and now they're on a 2-game win streak, 2-0 in their conference. And I asked Coach Wells, I said, well, what was the key to the turnaround? And he said, really, we simplified the offense. And you can see it tonight. They've really, they've got their bread and butter plays, and they're banking on that they're going to be able to execute better than the defense.
And sometimes it comes down to simplify it and execute what you know versus adding.
First and 10, Johnson again up the middle. Johnson has the momentum. You can tell that this Pocatello defense might be getting a little tuckered out as Johnson lowers the shoulder and takes it to the 26-yard line for a gain of 12 again. Actually, a gain of 13 and a first down.
Yeah, when you get second level, there's good blocking up front, and there's also tired legs on the other side as well.
Down to 5:35 to play in this ball game. It's gotten very late all of a sudden. 21-17, Pocatello with the lead, but Shelley on the move. First and 10 from the Thunder, 26-yard line. Handoff left side, Caden Johnson, this time stonewalled for a gain of a yard.
Nice gang tackle. It seems every time we say, maybe something's about to bend, and they come back and they say, no, we heard you, Brandon and Joel. We are not breaking.
That's right. We have such a big impact on the game. Who knew?
But it is impressive that these boys, these players don't give up. High school freshmen all the way to seniors, they keep working. It's just really impressive to see that.
2nd and 9, toss play to Klinger. He was in motion. Now we'll stop and
there's a hold there, Brandon.
Yeah, that was everybody in the stands. Ooh, yeah. Everybody knew that play blown dead. We'll see where they march this off at. The penalty flag was thrown out at the 28-yard line, so I think they're probably going to back it up to about the 38. We'll see. Again, though, this happened on Shelley's last drive, right? They were going, and then a big penalty moved them backwards. And
the penalty before actually moved them forward, but it killed their momentum, if that's what you're referring to down here, right? That penalty, whatever that weird penalty that we never knew what happened, it moved them forward, but it killed that positive momentum.
So 2nd down and 23 now for Shelley.
There's that reverse, Brandon.
Yeah, that double handoff, and Klinger will take it to the 30, and we'll pick up 7 to make it 3rd and long. But I think they had a penalty that moved them back on 4th down, right? It was 4th and 3, and then they had to move back.
Right.
And they tried the field goal.
Right.
Because of that. So.
Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah. You're right.
Just fact checking you.
I appreciate that. How dare I think that you, Brandon, would be wrong on that?
I'm never wrong.
Never.
3rd down and 15 after the 7-yard gain by Klinger. 3:55 to play, and a timeout taken by Pocatello.
Yeah, they had 12 men on the field, so they had to use one of their timeouts to avoid the penalty. Little miscue on D.
All right, well, while they take the timeout, we'll take it with them. 3:56 to play, 21-17 Pocatello with the lead, Shelley with the ball. We'll be back right after this on Gate City Game Night, presented by Lookout Credit Union on IdahoSports.com.
When joints begin to fail, it's more than an inconvenience. The relentless grinding pain slows you down and can even stop you from doing the things you enjoy in life. At Portneuf Medical Center, our skilled orthopedic experts are using advanced robotic surgeries to get you back to being you sooner with a less painful recovery. We're doing more than restoring joints. We're restoring lives.
Welcome back to Lookout Field. Gate City Game Night on IdahoSports.com, presented by Lookout Credit Union. 3rd and 15, screen pass, Klinger blown up. Pocatello ready defensively that time. And who was in on the tackle? Devin Rodriguez was in there, Tommy Smith, Andrew Millward, Julian Caldwell. I mean, it was a
group effort there, Brandon.
I was trying to think of a clever way to say a group of thunder, but there's really not a cloud of thunder. I don't know. That's a hard one.
Yeah. I got nothing for you. I'll let you know, though, when I do.
Loss of 2 on the pass to Klinger. And now it's 4th and 17. They're going to throw a backside screen. It is hauled in by Caden Kidman down to the 15-yard line, and that should be enough for the first down.
Wow, that was a quick snap, kind of hurry-up offense by Shelley. Really impressive play. It was 4th and 15, 17.
That's the first down, Shelley Russell.
And Shelley gets it. Really impressive. I don't know what that was. Screen pass, I think it was. Pass to the flat. Really nice job by Shelley Russett. She was really impressive.
Yeah, it was a backside screen, so they had everybody it was to the short side of the field as well, which is a risky call, but they do the backside screen to Caden Kidman. He gets 17 yards on 4th and 15, and now it's 1st and 10 for Shelley at the 15. Hand off to Johnson up the middle. Johnson pushing the pile ahead for a couple, and all of a sudden we're down to 2:40 to play. You feel like for Shelley, this is kind of it.
Yep, that was the opportunity for Pocatello to win that game there. Couldn't hold it, and this is it for Shelley. Yep, they got to score here, no doubt.
Down to 2:30 to play. There's a gain of 3 on the carry by Caden Johnson up the middle to make it 2nd down and 7. Ball is at the 13-yard line, so the drive started at the 16.
What a power right there, Brandon.
Toss play to Klinger, and Klinger will pick up a couple more. It's going to be 3rd down for Shelley, though. An obvious 2-down territory with Shelley down 4 and 2 minutes to play. The toss play gets 4 yards, actually 2 yards, and it's 3rd and 4 now.
Fans getting into it. I mean, this is it, right?
Yeah.
This is a big stop here. Obviously, yeah, like you said, 4-down territory, but got to get this stop. Shelley needs this.
3rd and 4 from the 9. They give to Caden Johnson. Didn't get it. It's going to be 4th down. Johnson picks up 2, and it'll be 4th and 1, Joel, with 1:25 to play.
Pocatello doing a good job of setting the edge if they can hold this one.
Pokey pride in effect right now. Noise, let's get them going.
They take this win.
1:10 and counting. Shelley facing a 4th and 1 from the Pocatello 7. They've got to get to the 6 for the first down. Trailing 21-17. Shelley may let the clock wind down and then take a timeout here. Call a play. I think that's what they're going to do. Head coach Josh Wells is out there like an NFL coach, right?
Waiting.
Timeout. We're down to 44 seconds to go. So here's our game reset on IdahoSports.com. 44 seconds to play. Pocatello leads 21-17 over Shelley. Shelley now has 2 timeouts remaining. Pocatello has 2 timeouts as well. It is a 4th and 1 for the Russets with the ball at the Pocatello 7-yard line. They've got to get to the 6 for the first down. How has the scoring transpired tonight? Well, for Pocatello, a 13-yard touchdown run from Hunter May, a 98-yard touchdown run by Reichen Echohawk, and then a 15-yard touchdown pass from May to Parker Smith. And then Garrett Keller 3 for 3 on PATs tonight for 21 points. For Shelley, Kate Johnson has scored on a 6-yard touchdown run. Nate Nelson has scored on a 2-yard touchdown run. Luke Pasco has knocked in 2 PATs along with a 41-yard field goal. Field goal does Shelley no good here, though. Down 4, 46 seconds to play. They add 2 seconds to the clock. What do you call here, Joel?
You know, I want to say you go wide, right? You go outside, but they've been having such good success down the middle. But that's what Pocatello's waiting for, is down the middle, right?
Nelson right down the middle on the QB sneak. I think he got it on the second push.
I think so, too.
They're going to stop the clock. The ball, anytime a first down is picked up, the clock will stop until they set it. It certainly looked like on the second surge that Nate Nelson was able to get it, and they say, yes, he did. He takes it to the 5, so he gets 2 yards on 4th and 1.
Yeah, he was stopped there, but that surge, that he kept pushing, kept his feet churning, and that's what you want to do. You want to keep your feet churning, and hopefully your big boys up front can keep that pile moving just enough to get you across that line. So really impressive play there by Shelley.
So Shelley burns their second timeout with 40 seconds to go. You know, Nate Nelson has carried the ball 3 times tonight for 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards.
Interesting.
Nothing if not consistent, right?
Right.
And one of them was for a touchdown. So here's the game reset. 40 seconds to play in this 4A non-conference battle. Pocatello leads Shelley 21-17. It is 1st and goal for the Russets from the Pocatello 5-yard line. Shelley has 1 timeout remaining. Pocatello still hanging on to 2. And again, for Shelley, ideally you would take that clock down as far as you can and end with a touchdown and not leave the Thunder much time. We were talking in the first half last week. Sean and I were at Minico for Magic Valley game night, and Minico did that to Burley right before halftime where they marched the ball all the way down the field. It was 4th and inches from the 1-yard line, 4th and goal. And the quarterback, Carson Wayment, scored on a QB sneak as time expired.
There they go outside.
Klinger to the corner. They will say down at the 1. They mark him shy with 31 seconds to go.
You know, sometimes you don't want to overcomplicate it. The middle's working, go through the middle. But I did mention, hey, maybe try to go to the outside and spread things out. This time it worked. But Pocatello has done a good job of setting that edge and keeping things covered on the outside.
And I believe Shelley just spent their 3rd and final timeout to talk things over. So, again, game reset. 23 seconds to play. 21-17, Pocatello with the lead. Shelley has it 2nd and goal from the Pocatello 1-yard line, but they now have no timeouts remaining. Pocatello still has 2 timeouts in their back pocket. So Shelley here, you know, they can run the ball if they want to, but if they don't get in, they're going to have to hurry up and get to the line. And at that point, you know, it is, and they're going to put the ball back at the, well, no, yeah, it's pretty much right at the 1.
It's pretty much right, yep, at the 1-yard line.
So it's 2nd down, right? So if they don't get it here, it's 3rd down. Do you line up and snap the ball, or do you spike it real quick to stop the clock? But then it's 4th and goal.
But then it's 4th and goal.
I don't know. Sticky situation.
You know, and on this drive especially, Shelley's big boys up front have been doing a really good job of getting that push. I think you trust those guys. You go and you go for it, and you don't take the risk of spiking if you don't get it here.
Nelson will line up under center. 2nd and goal from the 1. QB sneak. Pushing the pile. They're calling
him short.
Yeah, short on forward momentum, and that clock should continue to roll, right? 25 seconds to play. So initially stood up, and then Shelley was trying to get the 2nd surge, but the officials rule, you know, down by contact essentially, right?
Right.
No forward momentum.
Timeout, Shelley.
And now Shelley spends their 3rd and final timeout. So I thought they had taken their...
So did I. I thought that was it.
So maybe Pocatello took one of those other timeouts. We'll have to reassess and see. I can confidently say now Shelley has no timeouts remaining. So our game reset, again, 25 seconds to play. It is 21-17. Pocatello with the lead. Shelley with the ball, though. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. Shelley, no timeouts remaining, and Pocatello has 1. So, yes, Pocatello did take one of those timeouts to try and preserve the clock, right?
Right.
And now it comes down to this, right? Can Pocatello get a stop at their own 1-yard line? Can Shelley punch it in?
You know, I keep saying trust the big boys up front, but Pocatello just got that stop, so who knows? I think they could stop him again, but, man, Shelley's guys are big up front.
Toss to Klinger, brought down in the backfield. Shelley's got to hurry to the line. There's only 18 seconds left. Klinger lost a yard. It's back to the 2. It is 4th and goal from the 2 with 12 seconds remaining. No timeouts for Shelley. This is for the win. Nelson with the sneak. He is in for the touchdown with 5 seconds to play. Oh, my goodness, on 4th and goal from the 2, Nelson scores.
Wow. You know, so they did it. They kept moving, pushing through the middle. Trust your offensive line. They've been doing well all night. They've been getting holes for you. They've been making things happen all night. Keep trusting them. And at the very end, that's what you do, right? You trust what you know and what's been working. Using those big boys up front to push the pile.
What a dramatic end-of-game sequence. Almost like Friday Night Lights, the movie, right? You're down at the goal line. There's no time left. You got to hurry up and snap the ball. And, oh, my goodness, Nate Nelson scores with 5 seconds to play on a 4th and goal from the 2.
And good poise to line up quickly, Brandon, and get that play moving before the clock runs out. Really impressive.
And I'm sure they talked about that in the huddle. Coach Wells said, hey, if we don't get it, he probably told them, hey, we're going to get it. On the 5% chance we don't, here's what we do. Big extra point is through the uprights by Pasco. And now for Pocatello, it's pretty much take the kickoff back. Or, if it goes into the end zone for a touchback, we haven't seen either kicker do that tonight with the wind, but then you get it at the 20 and a chance for a final play. But, for Pocatello, can they come up with a big play here on special teams?
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you run that out or you give yourself one chance at the 20-yard line to go long. I'm not sure what the call here is, Brandon. But, you hope for a big special teams play.
Well, we saw Cutter Stuckey, the opening kickoff of the second half, had a really great return, right? Took it out to about the 40-yard line. And, the ultimate game breaker is Reichen Echohawk here. So I wonder if somebody else, one of the other Pocatello return guys, catches the ball. Do they hand off to Echohawk to try and get him going?
Right.
And if you're Shelley, I probably just squib kick it, right? I'm not kicking it deep. So that might make it all moot anyways.
Yep, and I squib kick that gives them no opportunity for a return.
Yep, because that'll take time off the clock as well. 5 seconds to play. Shelley up 24-21. They do have to kick off here. Can Pocatello pull out a miracle? They are going to kick deep.
They're going to kick it.
Very interesting call. Carson Christensen on the return. Actually, this is Stuckey. Cutter Stuckey out to the 30, and that's it. The Shelley Russets sneak into Pocatello and pull out a win, 24-21. We've got an injured Russet down on the field at the end of the play as well. I'm not sure what happened. I was following the action of the ball, but we've got a Russet down at the 25-yard line, and we certainly hope that he is okay as well.
Player down on the field.
Yeah, I was watching the runner over here, Stuckey, right?
Yeah. So the game is over. We have hit zeros on the clock. Shelley will win 24-21, but now we've got both teams still on their respective sidelines as the Shelley coaching staff and the Pocatello coaches are out there as well, tending to this injured Shelley Russet.
A scary moment there. You're at the end of the game. You hope he's okay.
Definitely. So we will take the time out here while they attend to the injured Shelley player on the final play of the game, a kickoff that ends it. So 24-21, Shelley does get the win, and we will be back with the IdahoSports.com postgame show right after this on Gate City Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
When local matters, Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. we are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valleywide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
All right, I put this on one check. Is that okay? Draw?
That was fast and secure. It's mobile wallet from Lookout Credit Union.
Your home team, when local matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Welcome into the IdahoSports.com post-game show one last time here on Gate City Game Night, presented by Lookout Credit Union from Lookout Field here in Pocatello. A very entertaining non-conference ball game tonight, and the Shelley Russets sneak into town, and they'll sneak back out with a 24-21 victory as Nate Nelson on a 4th and goal from the 2 and no timeouts remaining, clock running, scores from 2 yards out with just 5 seconds to play for the game-winning touchdown, Joel.
Yeah, trusting his boys up front. Again, I said that a lot this last fourth quarter, but they really did. It's been working most of the game, and they went through the middle, between tackles, trust the big boys up front to get those pushes. It worked out. Game over, touchdown. Really impressive finish by the Russets.
Definitely. So it's probably no surprise. Well, and first we should mention that Shelley scored with 5 seconds to go. They still had to kick off to Pocatello. Pocatello returns the ball out to about the 30, and the game's over. While that was happening, a Shelley player was down on the field and injured, and the stadium grew silent. And we took the break, and we're very glad to tell you that the injured Shelley player, Josh Llewellyn, was able to get up, walk off the field, which is great.
Yep.
Great news. So, certainly we're thinking of Josh and everybody, and hopefully he's all right. But it was very encouraging to see that he was able to get up and walk off the field. So, Shelley's going to walk out of here with a 24-21 win. They're now 3-3 on the season. That 0-3 start, that's in the rearview mirror.
Right, that's gone. Really impressive way that Shelley bounced back after the 0-3 start. Have won those last 3 games, and a couple of these games have been close. Yeah, they blanked Bonneville last week, but before that, and now 2 really tight games. But clearly the poise and the leadership of this team with a lot of upperclassmen is paying off.
Definitely, yeah. They get the 1-score win over Blackfoot 2 weeks ago, and a 4-point win or a 3-point win tonight here in Pocatello. So, our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Transportation Department, Shift Idaho. No surprise here. It's Nate Nelson, the Shelley quarterback. Now you're going to look at the stats, and he completed 4 of 7 passes for 61 yards, ran the ball 5 times for 8 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he scored the game winner.
You score the game winner, we got to give it to you, right? But he did not impressive stats, but those 2 touchdowns, right? 2 touchdowns, really huge, obviously important. The game winner is important. You may not get a lot of yards, but you got to score. Got to score to win this game, and Nate Nelson did that for his team.
He is calm and cool under pressure, and his ability to lead this team to the comeback win also was impressive. We were talking earlier in the broadcast tonight, Joel, that Nate's also a member of the Shelley golf team, and they had their district golf tournament earlier this week. He finished in the top 3, and so he's going to have state golf next week, and the entire Shelley golf team actually also plays football, which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
So good luck to Nate Nelson and the rest of the Shelley Russet golfers at state next week. And for the Russets now, they get back into conference play. They'll play Idaho Falls next week at Ravston Stadium. So that should be a pretty interesting matchup. And for Pocatello, you know, they're 2-4 now, but Hunter May, we saw really command the game tonight at quarterback for Pocatello. Reichen Echohawk had over 100 yards again on the ground. And the big thing for Pocatello is, yeah, they're 2-4, but guess what? They haven't played any conference games yet. So the most important part of the season's coming up. They'll have a bye next week, and then they'll close with the 2 conference games at Preston, and then right here at Lookout Field against Century.
Yeah, and you know what? I have a lot of confidence in this Pocatello offense. Yeah, they may be They may be 2-4, but Hunter May has had some really good experience, and he looked much more comfortable this week than he has the last couple weeks against Highland. And against Twin, right? So I'm confident that Pocatello is going to be just fine going into conference play.
Definitely one of those games where it's a shame somebody had to lose, but tonight it is Pocatello. And that'll do it for this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Gate City Game Night, presented by Lookout Credit Union. Tonight's game has also been brought to you by Valley Alpha Systems, Portneuf Medical, and our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. And also big thanks to Cox's Honey tonight for sponsoring the broadcast as well. Shelley wins 24-21, the final over Pocatello. Nate Nelson, the game-winning 2-yard touchdown run with just 5 seconds to play, propels the Russets to victory. Big thanks to Sean Kane and Joel Richardson in the broadcast booth tonight. I'm Brandon Baney. Until next time, good night, everybody.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com.